This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Shalom Aleichem. I hope everyone's having a great day. I want everyone to listen very carefully, because in the next presentation we're going to be slipping in little hints about upcoming trips, Avir trips. So please pay attention. We might even slip in a promo code. Okay? I'm not going to say what the promo code is right away, and if you could figure it out, you could get 0.001% off your trip. So listen very carefully. What? And the next time we cross the river, you get a free zip line across the. Okay. We're going to speak about one of the great Rishonim who lived in Toledo, Spain. He was a Talmud of the Rif. Tomorrow we're going to go to Lucina, the Beis HaChaim, where the Rif was buried. He was also a student of the Rimagash. And this great Rishon, aside from studying Talmud, became a master of literary style in Hebrew and Arabic. We're speaking about Rabbi Yehuda Halevi, one of the greatest of the all-time Paitanim. Says the Rashba. You ever hear of the Rashba? Rabbi Shlomo ben Aderas. In Siman Taf Yud Ches, Rabbi Yehuda Halevi is the greatest in merit and distinction of all the Paitanim. Now, Rabbi Yehuda Halevi was literally in love with the land of Israel. After all, he wrote the famous words, Libi ba'mizrach, va'ani b'seif ma'arav. While I'm on the far ends of the west, my heart is in the east. And there have been many pilgrims who traveled to Eretz Yisrael, including Spanish Rishonim like the Ramban, but no one expressed their love for Eretz Yisrael as passionately as Rabbi Yehuda Halevi. So, for example, the Rambam in Mar Nevuchim mentions Eretz Yisrael only one time in the entire Mar Nevuchim. Rabbeinu Bachya ibn Pakuda mentions Eretz Yisrael not even once in the entire Chovos HaLevavos. Even the Ramban, who is a great lover of Eretz Yisrael, speaks about Eretz Yisrael merely in a halachic sense. However, Rabbi Yehuda Halevi expresses his passion in a poetic literary style. So Rabbi Yehuda Halevi is Mekoinen in his famous Kina, Miyasali knafayim va'archik nedoid, who shall make me wings, so I may wander far away. Onid levisri levavi, I would cause my shattered heart to wander. Bein b'sayrayach. What does Rabbi Yehuda Halevi mean, who could make me wings? He is clearly echoing the words of the greatest lover of Eretz Yisrael, Moshe Rabbeinu himself, who in Dvarim Rabbah we read that Moshe Rabbeinu, when Hashem tells him to go and look at Eretz Yisrael, but you won't be able to enter, so Moshe Rabbeinu says, if I can't enter as a human, please allow me to enter as a wild animal, as a chaya, who eats the grass and drinks the water. And the Rebbeinu Shalom says, Rav Lach, Amar Lefan of Rebbeinu Shalom, V'im Lav, Hine Oisi Ba'il Mazeh Ka'oif, make me like a bird and I'll fly through Eretz Yisrael. Comes of Moshe Feinstein, Zechat Tzag L'Vrach, Moshe asks, the Gemara in Soita says that Moshe Rabbeinu wanted to Eretz Yisrael to Mekayim the mitzvahs Hatzluyos Ba'aretz, but if Moshe Rabbeinu would have entered as a bird, it's very hard to Mekayim Shmita, Chumash, Masras as a bird. Says Rav Moshe, we see from here the great spiritual benefit of merely being in Eretz Yisrael even without the opportunity to Mekayim mitzvahs. What is the benefit of being in Eretz Yisrael? Says Rabbi Yehuda Halevi, Apil la'ape alei artzech, I will fall on my face, ve'artza avoynayach l'moed, I would cherish your stones greatly, ve'achoynein asafarech, I would favor your dust. Even the stones, the rocks of Eretz Yisrael are endowed with desirable qualities. This is a reference to the practice of Rabbi Abba, who would kiss the stones of Akko. Soon we're going to read Parsha Va'aschanan, and Moshe Rabbeinu was mispalel, Eberahana, please allow me to cross. So one of the great Rishonim, Paneach Raza, one of the masters of the secrets of the Torah, he says, what was Moshe's tefillah Eberahana? No is Gematria 51. The Yarden, Jordan, was the Jordan River is 50 amos wide. Moshe Rabbeinu is saying, Eberahana, please allow me to enter one amma into the land of Israel. Okay, so who got the first clue? Okay, anyway, what gives the dust of Eretz Yisrael their special quality? Now listen to this. Why is the dirt of Eretz Yisrael holy? Says Rabbi Yehuda Halevi, Af ki ba'amdi alei kivroi savoisai. Even when I stand by the burial spots of my forefathers in Chevron, va'ashtoimeim alei Chevron mivchar kivayroyach, or har ho'avarim. Raise your hands if you've ever been at the kever of Aaron HaKohen. Oh, you've never been to Aaron HaKohen? Did you know that the reason why Eretz Yisrael has Kedusha, says Rabbi Yehuda Halevi, is because Aaron HaKohen is buried in Eretz Yisrael? That means the kever of Aaron HaKohen is the epicenter of Kedushas Eretz Yisrael. So imagine if you could go to the kever of Aaron HaKohen. If all the Kedusha of Eretz Yisrael is emanating from the kever of Aaron HaKohen, imagine if you could go to the kever of Aaron HaKohen. So you could join Rabbi Nassim Weldler and others at the kever, at the kever of Aaron HaKohen, in upcoming Avir trips. Asher Sham Shnei Urim Gedolim Oirayach Umayrayach. Two great lights, Moshe and Aaron. Now, Rabbi Yehuda Halevi is introducing the principle that the sanctity of Eretz Yisrael comes from the fact that the graves of our ancestors are in Eretz Yisrael. We find this in Sefer Nehemiah. When Eretz Yisrael and Yerushalayim lay desolate, Nehemiah comes before the king of Paras, and he requests permission to go up to Eretz Yisrael. When the king asked, why do you look so dejected? The king wants to know Nehemiah. He says, Nehemiah, it's not right that you come in front of me so dejected. Nehemiah says, Asher ha'ir beis kivroi savoisai chareva. Look, the city where our forefathers are buried is destroyed. From here we see the kivrei tzadikim in Eretz Yisrael, endow Eretz Yisrael with great kedusha. Now, Rabbi Yehuda Halevi pens his most stirring words. Chayei neshamois, the life of the soul. Avir artzech, the air of your land. Rabbi Yehuda Halevi says, merely breathing in the avir of Eretz Yisrael. So if you've ever gone on an avir trip, imagine if you could go on an avir trip from Eretz Yisrael to the sources of Kedusha of Eretz Yisrael. I think people are sleeping. That's what it seems like. Or they just don't know what in the world I'm talking about. Okay. Now, the idea that the air of Eretz Yisrael sustains the soul is developed by Rabbi Yehuda Halevi in great detail in the Sefer Kuzari. He says that just like the body requires oxygen, the soul requires spiritual air. In the land of Israel, when you breathe in the air, it's an extremely spiritually potent substance. Says Rabbi Avram Azulai. Who's Rabbi Avram Azulai? The great-great-grandfather of the Chida. He writes, Avir Eretz Yisrael hu tahar hamuchan lekedusha v'la'avodas Hashem. And therefore, v'lachein hashchina mishachenes ba'avir Eretz Yisrael. In fact, says the Chesed Avram, that is why we call the air of Eretz Yisrael Avir. Avir is Rashi Teivos. Avi didn't even know this. Avir. Or Hashem. Or Hashem. Or Yud. Or Hashem. That's why it's called Avir. And that is why Chazal say Avira Da'ara Machkim. Now, what?
Maze.
The maze?
Maze.
Now, Aleph, Vav, Yud, Resh. Or Hashem. Okay. It's well known, the Chazon Ish commented that he had extra siyata d'shmaya when he came to Eretz Yisrael, that in his learning that he never experienced anywhere else. Rabbi Yehuda Halevi's greatest contribution to the world of Torah literature is the Kuzari. Kuzari describes the quest of the king of the Khazars to determine the true religion by questioning a Christian, a Muslim, and a Jewish scholar. The king was finally convinced of the authenticity of Judaism, which he embraced together with his whole kingdom. However, the king of the Khazars taunts the Jewish scholar, because even though the Jewish people pray daily for their return to Zion, says the king of the Khazars, it's insincere lip service. You chirp it like a bird. Every day you say, V'sachazena einenu b'shuvcha l'tzion barachamim. However, ein diburenu ela ketziptzaf hazarzer. You chirp the words like a bird. She'ein anachnu choshva amashenamar. We don't even think about what we're saying. But you ready for this? Says the Kuzari. Im hayinu mizamnim atzmeinu likras aleikaya v'yiseinu b'lev of shalem. If we would prepare ourselves in the land of Israel, wholeheartedly, uvenefesh chafetza, with the desirous soul, hayinu poigim mimenu mashapagu aveseinu b'Mitzrayim, then we would achieve what the Jewish people achieved in Mitzrayim, namely the Geula Shalema. And the author of the Kuzari took his words to heart. He set out for the land that he yearned for, and tradition has it that he reached Damascus. He faced Zion, and in Zion he said the Kina, Zion haloi sishali u'l'shleim asirayach. Many historians believe that Rabbi Yehuda Halevi only got as far as Egypt. Raise your hand if you've ever been in Egypt. Chayev Adam lirois es atzmai ki'ilu hu yatsa miMitzrayim, which means you have to view yourself as if you were first in Mitzrayim. What was that? But many historians believe Rabbi Yehuda Halevi only made it as far as Egypt. But Rabbi Gedalia ibn Yachya, the Shafshas HaKabbalah, says that in fact Rabbi Yehuda Halevi reached Yerushalayim, where he fell to the ground. He embraced the dust in fulfillment of Kiratzu Avadecha es Avaneha v'es Afara Yichanenu. And as he was kissing the dust of Yerushalayim, he was trampled and killed by an Arab horseman. Rabbi Yehuda Halevi, born in 1080, right here in Toledo.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.